All right, week 4 of the NFL in the books. Almost. We still have Monday night games to play. I'm recording this video on Monday morning, but the big boys, all the top teams, played on Sunday. Best performance I saw, besides the Eagles special teams, I think it's the Rams. Beating the Colts and kind of bringing Indy back down to earth a little bit. Obviously, the Chiefs over the Ravens was also a positive result, but Lamar Jackson being hurt sort of put a damper on that. And frankly, I don't know how good the Ravens are this year. They're 1-3, so right now the record says they're a pretty bad team. But I think the Chiefs got back on track nicely. But the best performance I saw offensively was absolutely the Rams and Puka Nacua, most notably Puka Nacua. We'll get to the film on him in a little bit, but I want to bring to your attention some just fascinating stuff with the Eagles. So the Eagles are 4-0 this year, yet they've lost yards per play in all 4 games. And they haven't gained more than 5 yards per play in any of those games. So while the Eagles are 4-0, I think they're a shaky 4-0. And we all watched the result against the Rams last week. And goodness gracious, if you were on the Rams plus 3.5 and that blocked field goal lost you money. I understand why maybe you're a little anti-Rams this week. But keep an eye on this Rams team. We were all going into the season thinking Matthew Stafford was not going to make it through the year. And that's a fair take. I don't know if his back's going to hold up. He's 37 years old. I can tell you as an almost 40-year-old man, my back hurts most days, and I don't even play football. But when he's on the field, his rapport with Puka Nacua is incredible. And Davante Adams is still a very good receiver at this stage of his career, but make no mistake about it. The Rams' offense is run first and then Nacua second. And I think Adams is kind of not a decoy, but not the main weapon on this team. Puka Nacua was unbelievable yesterday, and I think you should be betting him to win Offensive Player of the Year. I did so on Monday morning at 3-1. My guess is this number will creep down a little bit. He's the favorite, rightfully so. He leads the NFL in targets, receptions, yards, but he's 15th in touchdowns. So the splash plays haven't really been there yet, but this dude is one of the most consistent receivers in the sport. I think he might be the best route runner in the sport. And his communication, his rapport with Stafford is like telepathic right now. It's insane. I'm going to show you 7 plays today, the last one being the game-tying touchdown on 4th down. All of the plays are different routes against different coverages, and it was surgical. What him and Matthew Stafford did on Sunday against the Colts. Again, I don't know how good Indy is. I think their defense actually with Lou Anarumo is pretty decent. Their pass rush is pretty solid, but the Rams were just slicing and dicing all day long. And the Eagles, I think, are right there in the NFC. I think the Rams might be the second best team in the NFC with a full, healthy Stafford and this offense, which is really good at running it with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum. But really, it's Stafford in the passing game that I really think you got to keep an eye on. Okay, enough yap. Let's go to the film. Because I can't wait to show you this tape with Nacua and Stafford and just all the things they were able to do in this game. So, again, I'm going to show you 7 plays. So we're going to try to get through this pretty quickly because I'll be honest, it's a lot. But a lot of it was Xavier Howard. Poor Xavier Howard just getting absolutely roasted in this game. Let me move that little scroll ball over so I can show you. Because Nacua is here at the bottom of the screen. So this is the first play. He's just going to run a square in against zone. This is very basic. Again, you're getting a zone coverage look. How do I know you're getting a zone coverage look? Well, there's 2 safeties back. So my first thought is cover 2. But also butts to the sideline, right? And anytime your butts to the sideline and not locked into your man, it's an indicator that it's cover 2. So Nacua is just going to run a simple square in, right? This safety's going to drop. Xavier Howard, who just got roasted all game long, is also going to drop. And Nacua is just going to make it look easy, right? Butts to the sideline, butt to the sideline, butt to the sideline. This is a zone coverage look. And you're going to have the tight end here. The slot guy's going to clear this out. And Nacua is just going to have a nice pocket of space right here that he's just going to work into. And Stafford's going to put it, right? You don't want to lead the receiver into this linebacker playing in this hook curl spot. You want to almost throw it on Nakua's back shoulder here because you want him going in the other direction. You don't want to get him killed. And he does a really good job of it, right? It's a low throw underneath, and then Nacua is able to come back to it and then get around this linebacker and make a nice little move, get, a couple of extra yards here, and then get tackled over the middle. So, again, that's just basic coverage or basic route running against zone. Now we're going to see man coverage. So we've gone from zone. Now we're going to see man. Xavier Howard again. Poor Xavier Howard down here at the bottom of the screen got roasted all day. Again, you're getting a man coverage look, right? We saw on the last play, butt to the sideline. Now Howard is locked up in man. You have a single high look here at the top. And what's Nacua going to run? He's going to run the fade stop route. And Stafford's timing here, putting it right on the back shoulder. I don't even have to really break this down. I mean, just watch the timing between Stafford and Nacua. There's your fade, here's your stop, and then boom, right back to the ball. I mean, he is right as he's breaking, right here. The ball is in the air right now. The ball is in the air right now. And Nacua isn't even done running his route yet. That is how crisp the timing is between these two players. It's almost, again, unspoken. Stafford knows exactly when Puka's going to come out of his break, and the ball is right there. I mean, look at that. He is right now. The ball is more than halfway. There's the ball right there. The ball is more than halfway between Stafford and Nacua, and Puka is just now starting to get his head around. That is insane timing. Insane timing. And again, poor Xavier Howard just gets absolutely roasted. Okay, here we're going to run. So now we're kind of in a different formation. We're kind of in a trips bunch formation here. And we're going to run a double move stop and go. Again, poor Xavier Howard right here at the bottom of the screen. So Xavier Howard, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 112 yards against Howard in that game against the Colts. Just insane. So Kyron Williams is doing his thing in the backfield. Is going to come back to Stafford's right. And then there's your Nacua motion. Howard is now guarding him one-on-one in man coverage. And again, this is just a stop and go. There's your stop, stutter and go, and Stafford puts it right on the money. I mean, that ball cannot be put in a better spot if you are Matthew Stafford. And Nacua can just do everything, right? Goes in the slot, comes outside, runs right by a corner, makes a catch, sets up 1st and goal for the Colts. All right. Now we're going to go back to zone, right? We showed you 2 plays against man coverage. Now we're going to go back to zone. The Colts are back in that cover 2 zone. When you are trying to find pockets of space in a cover 2 zone, the middle of the field is open. So the middle of the field is an option. But these pockets are also open here. So there's Puka here at the top, and he's just going to run the corner route. And Stafford's going to put it in a great spot. Right when the window opens, ball's in the air right now. Right as Nacua is not, again, the ball is about to be thrown and Nacua still hasn't turned his head around. It's going to be in the perfect spot, right? This is what we call a layered throw over the flat corner underneath the safety. These are not easy throws. Lesser quarterbacks throw interceptions here. Good job by the tight end kind of sucking up that corner. And then Stafford puts it right on the money. Again, you don't want to lead. You don't want to go too far. When you're making this throw, you don't want it to be too deep. Because if you throw it too deep, this corner has a chance to do it. You don't want it to be too shallow, because then this corner up top, this corner in the flat can make the play. It has to be layered. It has to be right in the right spot. You almost want to round it out and flatten it right there at the sideline. And Nacua runs it perfectly. I mean, absolutely perfectly. And Stafford puts it right on the money. These are really tough plays to defend. Really tough plays to defend. Almost undefensible if the route running is crisp and the timing is good. All right, so we showed you a corner out. We showed you a double move. We showed you a fade stop. We showed you a square in. This is just a basic curl route. And you're going to get the flat here by the tight end. And Nacua is going to run. We're also against cover 2 here. And Nacua is just going to run this curl route, right? You're in cover 2, 2 safeties deep. At the snap, they both drop. This corner, actually, I don't really know the responsibilities of this corner. It looks like, actually, they're almost rotating to a cover 3 at the snap, right? So, again, the Colts, Lou Anarumo does a good job disguising coverages at the snap, and curl routes are beautiful against cover 3. Butt to the sideline, dropping. This looks like cover 3. I have no idea what these two guys are doing in the middle, almost playing all these middle routes, but this defender can't get over in time because Nacua runs it perfectly crisp, right? Let me show you that one more time. out curl. You have to be quick and you have to be incredibly crisp with this route. You almost have to do it right off the defender's hip because you have to trust that your tight end is going to take that defender into the flat and you're going to have this pocket of space right here. Stafford's already delivering the football right as Nacua is coming out of his break. And you want to lead your receiver to the outside because you've got this defender crashing. So if you lead your receiver into the middle, you're going to lead him right into that player. But again, the timing, the polish, the crisp route running is so there. You want to lead him to the outside. Nacua makes the catch, and he's able to, again, just absolutely toast this Colts secondary. Okay, this play was insane. I don't even know. I think the Colts, again, do that thing where they show you cover one here with one high safety, and then they drop into a cover three at the snap where these two guys drop. So here's Puka, and here's Davante Adams. Puka's going to motion all the way to this side. He's going to motion to the outside of Davante Adams. Davante Adams is going to run a post route or some kind of vertical, and Puka is going to run this square in. And I'll be honest, I don't know how Stafford fits it into this window. I honestly don't. So here's Puka in motion. The fact that nobody runs with him kind of confirms zone coverage. And it looks like we're going to get this cover three again here. So right at the snap. See, it's imperative that Puka gets on top of Davante. Because then Davante's going to run off of his hip and try to take this safety out of the play. And this linebacker is not going to be able to get back in time. And then you see Puka again is going to cut it right back inside off of Davante's hip. And I have no idea how Matthew Stafford, again, the ball is in the air right now. Look at this. Look at these defenders right here. And Puka's going to catch it. I mean, that's just, so this hook curl defender had the best chance at it, I think, but he just didn't see it in time. This safety's just diving and begging to make a play, but Nacua jumps right back in front of him, makes an awesome catch. I want to show you this from the tight because I want to show you just how insane this window is off play action. Look at this. Look at this ball and how, so this hook curl guy almost had a chance to get back, but I mean, that's just an insane window. That takes a crazy level of trust between your quarterback and your receiver. To put this ball in this spot, trust that your receiver is going to make the right cut to get it in front of this safety. And it's beautiful right now to watch the magic between Stafford and Nacua. All right, here's the fourth down play I was talking about right at the top. Double slants, right? Double slants. Now, you're in man coverage on the goal line. When I'm reading man coverage double slants, I'm looking outside in. What do I mean by that? I want to try to hit this outside slant first. Why? Well, the inside slant, you're dealing with all this crap in here. And you want to try to avoid that. Two, it's a natural pick play. It's a natural pick play because this guy's running right off of his hip, and watch the defender kind of get slowed down by the traffic that Nacua creates here, right? So it's tough. First of all, Nacua runs a great route, pushes off, gets inside leverage, and then cuts it to the inside. But then once he catches the ball, it's really hard for the defender to get over top, right? This defender who was covering Adams on the inside slant to get over the top and make the tackle. And again, this is 4th and 2. This is a money play. You're down 7 with 3 minutes left in the game. This is it. You don't make this play, you probably lose the game. And then Nacua not only runs the route, but then lowers his head on the safety and gets into the end zone to score the touchdown. So I'll let it play out one more time because, again, it's not easy to run a slant when you have a corner pressed up like this. But watch Puka fakes to the outside to get a little bit of inside leverage, then cuts back to the inside. He's physical at the top of his route, and then he just wins inside. And Stafford, I mean, I'll be honest, that's an easy throw for Stafford. Nice window for him right there. And then, boom, the rest of it's all Puka. Man, that was impressive. That was arguably one of the best. That was one of the best films I've seen of a receiver all year. This Rams team is really dangerous, guys. I think they're the best team in the NFC West right now, if Stafford is healthy, obviously. I think the Niners are dealing with just an insane amount of injuries. They kind of blew that game yesterday against the Jags, gave up some special teams plays. So now they're a win behind the 8 ball. I think that's the Thursday night game this week. I think the Thursday night game this week is going to be Rams and Niners. Yes, it is in LA. The Rams obviously a favorite right now, pretty decent sized favorite, -5.5 as we record this on Monday morning. But this is the best team in the NFC, I think, right now on offense. The Eagles sure haven't shown it. They haven't gained more than 5 yards per play in any game this year. So the Eagles are winning games ugly. The Eagles remind me of the Chiefs last year, frankly, where they can't seem to get out of their own way on offense, but they're winning games because their special teams is great, their defense is great, they've got a great game plan, they're very disciplined. Whereas the Rams look like the significantly more polished team. And I know that the Eagles just beat the Rams. I get it. But the Eagles needed a crazy comeback in that game and then a blocked field goal late return for a touchdown in order to cover the spread. And I think this Rams team deserves all your attention right now. And I absolutely think that Puka Nacua deserves a bet for Offensive Player of the Year. Again, he's the favorite right now, so you're not getting a ton of that, value as we talk about. But I think he deserves to be a much more significant favorite than 3-1. The only thing that's going to prevent Puka Nacua from winning Offensive Player of the Year is Matthew Stafford staying healthy, because the rapport between those two guys is elite right now. So hope you enjoyed the film study and the reactions to NFL Week 4. I think the Chiefs are back. I think the Rams are really good. I think there's some other teams in the AFC, like the Bills, that certainly deserve your attention as well. But let's be honest right now. There's really Bills-Rams would be a really fun Super Bowl, actually. Maybe let's speak that into existence. But I think it's going to be the Chiefs again in the AFC. That's just my hunch. But the Rams right now in an NFC, that's crazy, right? That weird Packers game last night where 40-40, the Packers defense was just a complete no-show. So maybe they're not as good as we thought with their defense. Maybe that was just an emotional game. The Bucs are dealing with a ton of injuries right now. They kind of got pushed around by the Eagles. The Lions look good. I think the Lions in the NFC are a team to contend with. Lions-Rams might be your NFC Championship game. Who knows? But I think the Eagles will figure out a way to get into the NFC title. I think their offense is starting to come around, but we haven't seen it yet. Right now, I think the best offense in the NFC in terms of their cohesion, in terms of their polish, especially passing the ball, I think it's the Rams. The Lions are right there, but I think Matthew Stafford right now, man, if I had to win one game for my life and I could only pick one quarterback, not named Mahomes or Josh Allen, I think it'd be Matthew Stafford. I honestly do. This dude just continues to turn back the clock and put together elite performances. We thought it was going to be a real struggle for the Rams this year with no preseason reps. And he just walked onto the field week 1. That game against the Texans in week 1 was a little shaky, was a little bit, hey, I need to kind of warm up, rev the engines a little bit. But the last 3 weeks, this Rams team on offense has looked really good. So bet it now. Puka Nacua to win Offensive Player of the Year. He's the favorite, and I think that number is going to continue to shorten. As long as Matthew Stafford stays healthy, he is the best receiver in the NFL right now.